Tonight, look at this face. Who do you see? An innocent American girl? Or a cold and savage killer? A spirited girl who loves her family, who'd never been in trouble before? Or the mastermind behind a sex game gone wrong?
Did you kill Meredith Kercher?
Amanda Knox. The mystery of her behavior that ignited a global obsession.
For all intents and purposes, I was a murderer.
And what brings her to tears? For over 5 years, as ABC News has covered this story, looking for answers from Perugia to Seattle, Amanda Knox says she's been waiting for this night to be heard.
Do you know anything you have not told police?
Here now, Diane Sawyer.
Good evening and welcome. And tonight, after nearly 6 years, you're about to enter a murder, a mystery, and a kind of maze that is the story of Amanda Knox. She is the American woman who was a student in Italy for just 6 weeks when she was arrested and accused of murdering her roommate in a sex game gone awry. She would spend 1,400 nights in prison, then be acquitted, set free. But tonight, a third Italian court has now just ruled they want her to go on trial again. So as she talks to us, she knows every word of this interview could affect her freedom. But she says in the title of her book, she spent a long time waiting to be heard. In a medieval college town in Italy, thousands of miles away, two young women arrive for a year abroad, seeking new horizons. 21-year-old Meredith Kercher, who wants to be a journalist like her dad back home in England. 20-year-old Amanda Knox, who has never lived far from her family in the suburbs of Seattle. 6 weeks later, one will come home in a coffin. The other will begin a long fight against charges she is a sex-crazed killer, as headlines label her an erotic thrill-seeker, seductress, murderess.
She-devil with an angel face, heartless manipulator, concertante of sex, Sphinx of Perugia.
I haven't heard those. I mean, I've heard the gist of them. And they're wrong. I mean, I was in the courtroom when they were calling me a devil. I mean, it's one thing to be called certain things in the media, and then it's another thing to be sitting in a courtroom fighting for your life while people are calling you a devil. It's not true. For all intents and purposes, I was a murderer, whether I was or not. And I had to live with the idea that that would be my life.
And now, even as we start to talk, the Italian Supreme Court has just ruled she'll go back on trial for the third time.
It was incredibly painful. I felt like after crawling through a field of barbed wire and finally reaching what I thought was the end, it just turned out that it was the horizon. And I had another field of barbed wire that I had ahead of me to crawl through.
What's the first thing you want people to know about you?
I want the truth to come out. I'd like to be reconsidered as a person.
Of all the people watching, I keep thinking about Meredith Kercher's family.
Yeah, me too.
What is it you want them to hear tonight?
I'm thinking about them too.
Hey, it's Amanda Knox from West Seattle.
Amanda Knox says, imagine it was your daughter growing up in a middle-class suburb of Seattle. Her divorced parents still living within walking distance of each other. Above all, she says she loves her family.
The wonderful thing about my family is that we need each other, always, all of us. And whatever happens to one of us happens to us all.
You can see her, the girl there in the school production of Annie, belting out a song. doing a backflip. She describes herself as quirky, often too loud, uncensored, strange, like the eccentric heroine of the French film Amélie. But she is still living in Seattle, a junior year in college, on the dean's list, when she decides it's time to leave home and venture out.
An adventure of fill in the blank.
An adventure of selfhood, I'd say. I mean, I was at an age where you know you're both insecure but you're confident at the same time.
You wrote a sentence in the book that surprised me. You said, "What if I had not gone on a campaign for casual sex?"
It was irresponsible. A child's going about a very adult thing.
You thought that's what the liberated,
yes,
free-spirited girls did?
I thought that's what all self-confident, free-spirited women did. And at that point, I still felt like a clueless girl.
Like so many girls with websites that might come back to haunt them. Her screen name seemed flirtatious. She says it was given to her by her middle school soccer team.
Foxy Noxy.
Yeah. There was also a lot of me talking about my mom being my hero and how I liked rock climbing and roller coasters and my sisters.
Naive?
I was naive enough that I didn't understand the way bad things can happen to regular people for no reason.
You were going to say good people.
Well, all people are good, but I mean, we also are all regular.
She worked 3 separate jobs to earn the money for her year abroad. Her sister Deanna dropping her off in Italy, making a video as they head there, teasing her about her new life and the boys she'll meet. First up, that naked Michelangelo statue of David.
Are you excited to see David? David, the statue of David.
Oh,
God
good
damn.
one. Well, dude, I swear to God, I don't know what it is about people who think that guys are not attractive physically, but...
Though Amanda's real crush, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, then how you are in love with Harry Potter?
I am. I'm reading it in German. And I'm going to get the second one in Italian. And I'm not even going to be able to read it because I can't even do Italian yet. But it's going to happen, baby.
You look at the picture of the girl who arrived there. What would you want to say?
I want to tell her not to be afraid of what's going to happen. Because what happened to me hit me like a train. And there was nothing I could do to stop it. I was really afraid.